Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rob, Feedbackwrench. I want to talk about what is it that actually helps your business improve in what's called search engine optimization, right? One of the things that people always want is that if you were to search, concrete contractor near me or realtor near me or web design company or whatever it is, they want their Google My Business and their own website to pop up, right? And things have changed a great deal over the years, and what actually causes that to happen? Well, first off, I'm going to let you know that there's two types of searches. You have local searches where locality and your actual proximity to the searcher matters. And then you have kind of your broad SEO or your broad search engine results, right? And the first thing that you should know is that there's such thing as what's called the search engine result page, right? So if we go to the search engine result page and we were to say SEO companies near me, that was a search. And now what we're going to see is this is a search engine result page. On the top here, you have Google Ads, and that's where you can use paid search to get in front of people really quickly. It's how you get consistent results. The backbone of our business is using paid search. Then what you have here is the local snap pack, and the local snap pack allows you to get in front of people that are local to you. Notice how I said near me in this search, and that's a big reason why this local snap pack is here. But if you notice, we call it the snack pack or the 3-pack or the local pack. The insider terms vary, but here you'll see that there's an ad. There's a way to do this, and that's kind of a specialty that I do. And then down here you have, this is a rich text or a rich feature that can pop up, but then you have the organic results, right? And most small businesses that I'm working with, what we're trying to do is win in this top area, either with paid ads or with this Google My Business snack pack or that local pack. And the reason why is because that's where you can actually win. Because what you'll notice is down here, what's occurring on the bottom here is where your organic search results, where websites show up. You have Yelp, you have Thumbtack, you have primarily you have this third party or big national companies. Here's Neil Patel, who is a big thought leader in this industry, right? So the first thing you should know is that you have searches that matter a great deal for proximity, and then kind of these national or international search result page options. So the first thing that you want to do is identify that, right? What matters most. And then you got to think about, there's kind of two types of search engine result pages or search terms that you want to think through. One, you have your broad, what I call core commercial keywords, and your core commercial keywords are like web design, SEO, marketing. For maybe a concrete company, it could be concrete patios, concrete driveways, driveway aprons. For a remodeling company, it could be basement remodeling or basement finishing, additions, kitchen remodeling. You have these, like if they were on a menu, they are your core services, right? So first, what you want to do is always write down what are your core services. Because if you think about it, you have to try and get your website to rank and pop up for each one of those. Now, what I would tell you is that your website, along with your Google My Business, are what's actually going to feed this Google My Business factor down here. So you have to pay close attention to that, right? Anything that you have on your website is going to be part of what feeds into the factor to this Google My Business. So they're interlinked. You have to do that. You have to consider both. You're going to use your website primarily, and that's why oftentimes what we're doing here is we're creating a services system. So here I have web design and development, right? I have a separate page for each one of these. We have video production, where if you're doing video, give us a call. We got all sorts of cool things going on in video. But by creating a services structure or ontology on your website, what you're going to see is that you are going to send the signals to Google My Business that you're in the business of doing that. So the first kind of searches you want to think through are your primary core commercial keywords. Now, the next one you want to think through is a branded search, right? If somebody actually found Feedbackwrench and I search Feedbackwrench, right, we'd hope that we show up for that. The next series of questions and queries that you want to think of are more specific, like questions or queries that are relevant to your sector, right? So in remodeling, it could be people are looking for kitchen remodeling ideas, kitchen cabinet ideas. They could be looking for inspiration for swatches or color swatches or trying to match patterns or colors or whatever that is. So there's a whole series of ideas. Like for web design, it could be like construction web design ideas, right? And this is something that for me, for example, could be really good for me to bid on. In fact, one of my competitors has made a really great article that shows ideas for this because they want to intersect with people. And so if you think through this second stage of content or queries that people are going to have are around specific questions that are relevant to your industry, right? You really want to think that through, because if they're searching for it, it means that they're probably in the business or in the market for what you're looking for. So again, think through what are all of those questions that they have. And this is where you have to realize that SEO is really about two things. One, it's about anticipating these queries and creating answers for the queries. If you don't create an answer for the query, you can't pop up. In fact, if you look at this little example where my competitor had created a construction contractor websites, he has 19 stunning examples of a website. And if you go down here, basically it's screenshots of what they would consider some of the best websites out there. Without creating that content, there's no way that they would intersect and actually show up for that search term, right? So the way you rank for keywords and the way you rank for more keywords and the way you increase the amount of traffic that your website gets, and I'll get to why that's important, is by creating content. And that's where we step in. We actually have a team of writers. We have a team where we do podcasts, actually, where we record a phone call with you. We take that phone call and we structure that around an article so that we have good information that you would actually support, because that's a challenge. You can write articles all the time, but we have to get what's in your head out of that. But it all comes down to creating content. Now, the second thing that you need to do is you need to build up your authority. And there's a series of different things that you do that. Building backlink profiles, creating content that people would reference to in your industry so that you're getting small votes of confidence from other companies is incredibly important. So that's the next step that you would do, right? So those are the fundamentals. You have to create content. You have to build up your authority after you think through these different terms. But in all, what's really interesting is that Google is very much like a father, and their searcher is their customer. That's their customer, right? Is like their daughter. And they're very particular about who they're going to connect their search customer to in terms of like who's finding them. Because you, the website or the company, is like some person that's trying to connect to their customer, and they're very careful about that. Well, if you dive back into it, there's this EAT or EAT principle that we've been able to glean in the industry from Google's inside pages and inside terminologies. And it's not a hard, fast rule. What you need to know is that there's no way to show up on Google. What we know are best practices that show that you are kind of abiding as a good publisher. And the EAT principle is expertise, authority, and trustworthiness, right? So if you can show that your content and your website is an expert in that field, and there's different ways that you do that. If you can show that you're authoritative in that field, and then you can show that you're worthy of trust or trustworthy, and that's everything from having backlinks, reviews, votes of confidence, to producing content that actually references good quality, other good quality websites. So you have to source your material, and that's who do you hyperlink to when you make a claim. And ultimately, what we've been realizing is that Google is paying very close attention to who do you source to, who do you link to, but then who links to you, but then also how do people react on your page. And if I could frame it up one simple way, is that SEO, it seems like now, is almost like every piece of content that you create is like a cookie that's getting served, a piece of food that Google is serving to its customer, right? And Google is taking close note as to, do they consume it? Does it appear that as they eat and consume this, that it's satisfying their need, right? And what you'll then see is that as it notices that you're in the business of satisfying their needs, man, it starts to raise you up in the search engine result pages. So folks, the foundation of all of this has to do with creating content, getting backlinks and authoritative sources pointing to your votes of confidence. And so the whole idea might be, though, why would I create this content so that Google sees that? I mean, I don't care if I rank for these things. It'd be nice, but that's a hard ROI. Well, I'd say that's a tough case for ROI. That might be hard for you to think, boy, I do that. And then I would say 2 or 3 years down the road is when it pays off, or 6, 7 months down the road. Like SEO, if you create content and you do content strategies like this, it takes a long time for it to take off. So then the big question is how could that possibly provide strong ROI? And I think what I'll tell you is that paid advertising is the way that you push that to the front, right? Using Google search ads and Bing search ads allows you to just kind of cut to the front of the line. And then what we've found is that as you do that, Google starts to see, did you actually satisfy these queries? That's the first thing. The second thing is there's a couple different stages you have to perform some best practices. We love helping people do that, but ultimately you got to create content. And as you create content, you will start to see that your content gets a little bit of traction. And as you continuously improve it, you will get better and better on-page signals, and you'll rank higher. So folks, if this is something you're looking to do for your small business, construction, CPA, financial advisor, if you're an insurance agent, whatever that is, that's our specialty here at Feedbackwrench. We have a cool little team. We have a design team. We have writers, content strategists. We have a video team too. We love the opportunity to serve you. Good luck. God bless. Go to feedbackwrench.com. Otherwise, take to your blogs and write great solutions to queries. If this was good for you, like and subscribe. We're kind of an entrepreneurship channel. We like helping people start businesses, grow their business. We're all about SEO and marketing, but also, man, we want to help people pursue the beauty of entrepreneurship. And it's so hard to actually do. And people don't understand that it's even an option. And yeah, we're kind of free market people around here. We tend to think that we can unleash people's potential through entrepreneurship, leadership, through personal development, by reading, by getting feedback. And if you like that kind of thing, that's what we're all about here at Feedbackwrench. And yeah, we love all political spectrums. We have perspectives, but we're here to help you. So good luck. God bless. Like and subscribe if you like this.